Hello YouTube family, this is Mending Mahogany. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, hi. If you are new to my channel and you like the information or you like the content that you are hearing, just hit the subscribe button. So I wanted to ask you a question. Where do you find your peace? Where do you find it? When everything is going topsy-turvy, where do you find your peace? I know one of the places that I find my peace is in worship. You know, God doesn't care what we sound like. He doesn't care if you're in key. He doesn't care if you make up words. He just wants the song of your heart. He just wants the adoration, the worship. He just wants us to pour our love on him. And I just felt like worshiping God. I just came upstairs and I told my husband, I feel like worshiping him because I'm in a place that if I don't connect and stay in the presence of God, I won't make it. Because sometimes the weight of your situation becomes so heavy. But then when you come into his presence, it just seems to fade away. The problems of life seem to fade away, 'cause it's in his presence that I find peace. It's in his presence that I find my joy. So that's what I asked you. Where do you find your peace? Do you find your peace in shopping? Do you find your peace in sex? Do you find your peace in money? Do you find your peace in weed? Do you find your peace in alcohol? Where do you find your peace? But one thing about the peace of God is it passeth all understanding. You know, some people, if they know what you're going through, they'd be like, girl, I don't know why she ain't in the crazy house. Because I know what she going through. I know what her kids are putting her through. I know she ain't got no money. I know her man ain't no good. But it's in his presence that he keeps my mind. He keeps my mind on him. And he reminds me that he's with me. And he reminds me that I am the apple of his eye. Sometimes we think God's forgotten us. Sometimes you think like, God, where are you? Don't you see what's happening? But the scripture says that your name is written on the palm of his hand. Remember when you were in elementary and you liked a boy and you write his name on the palm of your hand and you go through school all day looking at the palm of your hand. But that's where your name is. It's in the palm of his hand. And the scripture also says that we're the apple of his eye. The apple. So that tells me that he's focused. He's focused on you. He's focused on me. He knows everything that's happening. Nothing is taking our God by surprise. 'Cause we're the apple of his eye. And his eye is on the sparrow. Come on, if the lilies of the field are dressed so beautifully, how much more much more does he care for you and I? He cares for the sparrows. The lilies of the field are dressed beautifully. I like lilies. They're one of my favorite flowers. They're so beautiful. So if he can care for those, surely he can care for us. So just remember where you go to find your peace. And you know, I am so breaking out of my comfort zone that I don't care what you think I sound like. I don't care if you think that I could sing, if you think I'm off key. That's not what this is all about. This is all about connecting with God in the way that you connect with him. I connect with him through worship. And I tell you, there was a heaviness that I was feeling. My husband's like, oh, let me take you out to dinner, you know, lift your spirits some. And I was like, babe, let's just stay home. Because I know that I would have had a good meal and I would have been in the presence of my husband, which I enjoy. But sometimes even that leaves a longing, because it's when we're in the presence of the Father that he can bring a calmness. He brings a calmness. He brings a stillness. He brings a peace like no other. So, I'm feeling better. Yes, I am. And I am not on here to exercise my vocal cords or exercise my singing ability. I'm on here to encourage you that God knows and he sees. He knows all about you. He knows all about your situation, and he cares. So you just be encouraged. My husband is downstairs. He about to cook some rib tips, and I'm about to make some yellow squash with some red onions sauteed in some butter with some salt and pepper. Wish you were here. My mother-in-law used to love when I made my squash. You know, I can't be nobody other than what I am. And this is who I am. This is how I am when I'm in church. This is how I am when I'm in my car. This is me. And I have to be comfortable with that. You know, this is me. I find peace in God's presence. I find peace in his worship when I worship him. Lord, Lord, I love you. Oh, I love how I love you, how he loves you. Don't forget, he loves you, and he's there, and he's the peace in the storm. So be encouraged. Mending Mahogany. Stay in his presence, because that's where you find peace.